and hit the spot.
Since I'm back with another video, I'm Strange Wang, he is Nate. This is a bracket, a non-biased bracket, hopefully, to determine the greatest movie scene of all time. He'll tell you how our brackets work, and then we'll get into it.
In this specific scenario, I guess, stills have or whatever from a movie scene will pop up, and we will decide which of the scenes is better. If we agree, great, that one moves on. If we disagree, we play rock, paper, scissors to decide who goes forward. Oh, and if one of us has seen both of them, but the other person's only seen one or none, then the person who's seen both of them gets to decide. First up, we have Darth Vader telling Luke that he's his dad versus, you're going to have to help me here. As soon as you say it, I'm going to remember it.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I absolutely love that movie. I don't like either of these movies, but I really hate. I forgot the name of it.
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard. So
yeah,
I guess Empire can get this one.
And it's correct. It's the correct choice.
See, non-biased. I'm doing so good.
Next up, again, you're gonna have to help me. I'm not.
Could have been a contender.
Okay, thank you. Versus Jules doing Jules things. Say what again?
Yeah.
I mean, well, first of all, this is a really long scene.
It is a really long scene.
And that one scene is full of nothing but
F words.
Absolutely incredibleness.
Yeah.
So, and people quote this a lot.
Quoted this a lot.
People quoted this a lot. That's fair. I don't know. This has to be Pulp Fiction for me.
Yeah. 100% same.
Yeah.
I don't understand. When we got into movies and we were watching Watch Mojo and Movie List and learning about movies, Marlon Brando's up here.
Yeah, everyone talked about
And then 5 years go by and who the fuck's Marlon Brando?
Yeah, that's true.
No
respect.
It's Jack Nicholson now.
Well,
it's De Niro. It's Pacino.
Yeah.
That generation just died off, and it just moved straight to the 70s.
Yeah, and I don't think it helps that Marlon Brando got really, really weird.
Yeah.
And people don't like people that got really, really weird anymore.
His pedestal just disappeared.
Yeah, that's true.
Overnight, it felt like.
Yeah. So running away from this airplane in North by Northwest.
Crop duster.
Versus E.T. flying across the moon.
As much as I don't like the movie E.T., that scene is just
it's a very magical scene.
That's top 5 in cinema.
It's really good. Yeah.
When I think of movie magic,
this is Spielberg doing Spielberg things at his highest. This specific scene is just incredible. Why is the moon so big? But it just looks beautiful. King Kong swatting at some airplanes on top of a building versus I'm going to remember her name. Julie Andrews singing about how the hills are alive with the sound of music.
Because I don't know. I'm going King Kong on this one. Just because, this pushed cinema forward.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, and only because I think that there are way better scenes from The Sound of Music that I would have picked over King Kong. But this is about scenes, not whole movies. So, yeah, I'll go with King Kong on this one. Nice. I can't remember what his name is, but we have, I think he's a colonel. I don't know. I can't remember. We have Homeboy riding the nuke down in Doctor Strangelove versus...
The introduction of Oz.
Yeah, when Dorothy first shows up to Oz. And I will call it Follow the Yellow Brick Road, I guess.
Yeah. I'm going Oz on this one. There's something magical and mystical, and especially being a person, seeing that on the screen, something like that on the screen for the first time.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I dig that. I can go with it. And also the war room scene is the best part of that movie, so. Okay, so Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indy steals the idol, has to run away from a boulder. Pretty awesome. Versus I can turn my head 360 degrees in The Exorcist. That is like just a terrifying still.
Yeah.
Like I don't really like looking at it.
Like, it has terrifying moments in the movie, and that's definitely like the highlight and one that stuck with people.
Yeah.
But Indy, when you think of like the most parody scenes, you think of this and The Godfather.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going Indy on this
Yeah,
one.
I think this is just like iconic. Like what an incredible introduction to a character that is like going to like
You don't need to scroll down. Or, never mind. Also, you can just click it and scroll down. Because that's going to stay up there.
what do you okay, I don't know what I need.
I'll try and get the white off, but it's alright. You're good. There we go.
Okay. What an absolutely incredible introduction to a character that is going to be like one of the most recognized characters in all of cinema, like hopefully forever. I mean, I hope he doesn't get hope he doesn't get brandoed. But yeah, this scene is absolutely awesome. And again, it's like Spielberg doing Spielberg things. And like, yeah, I mean, I could get into like how they, the fact that they built that set and like creating this effect also a big leap for when this movie came out.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can top the idol stealing scene. I don't think The Exorcist can top the idol stealing scene. Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me versus funny how? Funny like a clown?
I love both of these scenes.
Yeah.
So you have one of the greatest lines of cinema history. Also with one of the best frame shots in cinema history.
Yeah.
Because, like, look at that. Seduce, like, immediately that's what your mind goes to.
Because there's a leg across the screen.
In a seductive way.
Yeah.
So, like, your mind goes in, and his facial expressions, and then how it comes back, and she's...
At what point did our brains get, like, auto-programmed to think that a woman's bent leg is, automatically seductive?
When we learn what's between the bent leg
I
and
blame
the other leg.
mud flaps on trucks.
I'll blame Arby sandwiches. Funny how it's just iconic. Probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, improvised scenes of all time. I love both of these movies. I'm gonna think about it and see where you're leaning.
I think Goodfellas is an incredible movie. I think it's one that we argue about a lot because you just love it way more than I do, and I don't really like it.
Because it's fun, and you don't get I don't feel like we fight over how fun it is.
Yeah, I think there's just like way better mobster movies, personally. But this scene is freaking awesome, and it makes sense to me why it gets shown on like so many random YouTube videos, and I think this one pops up on YouTube videos a lot. Yeah. Like the ending of this movie more so probably than this scene. But in terms of like iconicness, and like even who we're looking at, like, I think I'm like very heavily leaning Goodfellas.
Wow. Our first rock, paper, scissors.
Nice.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Man, I never thought you'd be sad about Goodfellas losing anything.
You know?
You're just trying to be a perv. That's all it was.
Nah, I mean, I really love that movie. Like, the depth in it and everything. But that scene, like, particularly, is just, like, phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, not unlike the characters in Goodfellas, we have two more people in the you're missing the point by idolizing them starter pack. And so we have Say Hello to My Little Friend. And we have Are You Talking to Me?
And this one's really hard.
Yeah, because I don't like either of them. For me, personally. Well, I dislike both of these movies.
Well, for me, you get the iconic line with the gun and, like...
This one's more fun.
The parody of it as well.
Yeah.
But you also get the parody with Are You Talking to Me? But the original intention is to make him relatable in a sense that you would as a child.
It didn't work for me.
Like, you look in the mirror, you try to build that confidence. That's something you relate to younger people. and because he's older, you're just kind of like put off by it a little bit.
Yeah.
So like that depth to me, I would go Taxi Driver. But if you pick Scarface, I'll pick Scarface because I like Scarface more.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Scarface just because this scene is more interesting to me.
Scarface
personally.
it is. Fucking cockroach.
Okay, and then we have No, I Am Your Father versus I don't even like
The Sam Jackson monologue.
Yeah, the Sam Jackson monologue.
No, my name is the Lord.
Yeah. And I will lay my hands upon thee.
To me, it's Pulp Fiction. I think Star Wars is just a jumbled mess of lucky opportunities. Like, it makes no sense on why you would just randomly throw out, oh, I'm your father. Like,
But he doesn't. There's like a whole conversation that builds up to it.
yeah, I get the conversation, but like that part of the
It's
movie,
not random.
the part of the movie right there, I felt like it just, not like it wasn't planned, but it was just like, oh, we could do this and no one would be expecting it because the first movie didn't have anything to do. We didn't know that was his father in the first movie.
But they did know that was his father.
I don't feel that. You can say that now. History.
You don't need to feel that. It's still
history
true. You're
is
so
written
dumb.
by winners, and you can just say shit on a documentary and it will live forever. George Lucas.
He has the notepad that he wrote it in.
No, dude. That dude's got it.
No, he does. You just don't like Star Wars.
I could write.
And you don't want it to happen because your only argument against Star Wars is that they didn't know what they were doing. They were just going to make us sit up and they would walk. They want to sell toys.
Listen, dog.
I'm also picking Pulp Fiction.
Then why were we even arguing?
Because you're an idiot when it comes to Star Wars and you talk about it like you know it, but you don't know anything about it.
That's my goal for this year. I'm going to write down a list of 100 reasons why I hate Star Wars. And I'm going to put it on YouTube.
And I'm going to dismantle every single one of them.
That's fine. You can do a reaction video to it.
I was going to do that with Rocky, honestly, but then I was like, that's just hateful. Like, do I want to spend my time watching movies I'm not going to like just to tell Dylan how much I think his favorite movie franchise is stupid? No.
I'm
not going to do that.
Reason number 76. The toy Yoda logo with the Yoda ears.
Oh, toy Yoda. Yeah, that's dumb. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have anything to do with the movie. That's just...
Movie related.
Okay, E.T. flying across the moon versus King Kong swatting at planes.
If you look at...
He kind of looks like he's grabbing his junk right there.
He's yanking that hog.
Okay, well, I wasn't taking it that far, but...
He's on a car wash security camera. But when you look at an iconic film scene montage,
yeah,
you're seeing both of these in the first 20 seconds for sure.
Yeah,
I'm leaning E.T.
Yeah, I'm not leaning. I have decided that my choice is E.T. This is cool. I mean, like, again, that they did this and didn't make it look completely fucking awful is great. But this scene is just awesome, man. It's like, it's such a good scene.
Good soup.
Good soup. You're Welcome to Oz versus Indy stealing the idol.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I'm going Indy.
Yeah, same. 100%. Funny How, Funny Like a Clown versus Say Hello to My Little Friend.
I'm going Funny How.
Same thing. Yeah, same.
I feel like we're going to be on the same page after the first round and the last round is when we're going to butt.
I will say, I really dig the final four that we have. Like, for sure. Okay, so Joel's quoting Ezekiel, whatever, that isn't even a real Bible verse, versus E.T. flying across the moon.
I never thought this day would come, but I'm saying E.T. beats Pulp Fiction in a bracket.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's my question, I guess. How much of this... Because this scene... Like, are you considering just the monologue, or are you considering the entire time they are at the apartment?
Rotten Tomatoes had it as the monologue.
Okay, well... okay, if we're just going to look at the monologue, which is really just a snippet from a much longer scene and not a single scene, then I'm going to go with you. I'm going to say E.T.
If it was the whole thing, you would disagree?
If it was the whole apartment scene, I would disagree.
Why?
Because that scene is fucking incredible. Because we can try to be as unbiased as we can, and like, this isn't a bias in terms of which movie I just like more. It's just like, even when you're trying to be unbiased, you can't. It's impossible to just completely throw out like what you value more in filmmaking, and like,
That's very true.
and I think I just inherently value really, really good dialogue mixed with great camera angles a little bit more than I value the special effects scene with an incredible score behind it. And so if it was the whole scene, I think that's why I would pick Pulp Fiction. But if it's just the monologue, which we're saying it is, then I will go E.T. also.
Even though it looks like he's saying "say what" again in that shot.
It does.
Indy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely. And then I'm also going Indy again.
I would agree. Because the length.
Yeah.
The iconic shit in that scene.
Yeah.
45 seconds. Maybe a minute.
You talking about E.T. or
Indy?
Indy? Yeah, okay.
The iconic moments in that minute is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So, Indy.
Yeah, well, and I guess the thing is, like, and I don't think this would have necessarily changed my perspective a ton, but this scene, the whole bike chase scene is longer than just this shot.
Yeah.
And what made this famous was that shot, not the whole scene, and John Williams' score. And so the Indy thing is so much more than that one shot.
Yes.
Like, the whole scene is absolutely incredible. So
you can't put videos on the bracket, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Fortunately.
Yeah, bummer. Okay, on to the other side.
I'm going to pause it right there. I'm going to grab it. I don't want my laptop to die. I'll be a bitch. I'll beat you in half.
Fun fact, I worked, so I'm like, I still work cookout sometimes, but Twin Peaks also has overtime for us now. And it's it's basically the same hours. It's actually 30 minutes longer. So I get $275 for staying 35 extra minutes instead of $250. But the hours are 8 to 1 instead of 10 to 3, which is like when I'm on night shift and it's my night off, and I still have like, more time to do whatever I want when I get home. So anyways, I worked Twin Peaks last Saturday, and they had AEW on one TV, and they had whatever like the all-female thing is now. Well, I think it's just Women of Wrestling or something like that. Is that what it is? Yeah. But those were the only two screens that I could see where they want us to stand, so I watched like a shit ton of fucking wrestling. I couldn't hear anything, and they didn't have subtitles on either, but I was like, this will do.
Yeah. AEW's dog shit now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have Frankly My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn versus Jaws finally showing his ugly ass.
We're going to need a bigger boat. Camera angle, dialogue, not humanity, the human relatability you get from Chief Brody in that scene. Bro, Spielberg taking over, dog.
Yeah.
Taking over.
Yeah. This is a quote. Like, this is not a great scene. This is a really good line in a movie. Yeah. This is a great scene. So I'm with you on Jaws for sure. Okay, see, again, is it just like this scene is like a fourth of the movie? Like, so is it just Tom Cruise's final like berating of him and then him finally saying you can't handle the truth?
Yeah, I
Or
would say
is it
it's the question to the you can't handle the truth.
yeah, and I
Going
don't
off.
what scene is this?
I will make them all free can't reviews. That's when the singer goes in there and says, I'm looking for this Hollywood part.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, so you can't handle the truth versus I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
He's patting the cat and shit. You know?
Yeah, right. I'm going you can't handle the truth. I think this is incredible and one of the best movie scenes of all time. I also really love this movie. And this movie is incredible and it is a near perfect movie. I just think that this scene is really iconic and again it has the quote but so does this, and I think this is all around a better scene.
Yeah, this is hard. Two incredible films.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with the parody aspect for my lean, and I will go Godfather by like the slightest of margins.
Bad take, but okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Fucking A. Bro, the cat and like to me it just it does it.
Okay, this lady gets stabbed in the shower by Norman Bates versus hanging out on the edge of the Titanic.
I'm on shower scene Psycho.
Jack.
For me, that's some peak cinema.
Yeah, I mean, so like this was a really, really popular movie scene when this movie came out.
And that scene in itself is a big turning point of their relationship.
Right. But in retrospect, this itself, kind of cheesy.
It's a great shot.
It's a great shot. But it's kind of cheesy. This is like, you didn't see this coming. Like, she's taking a shower. You're probably excited that, like, it's 1950 whatever and, like, you can almost see a boob. Like, but then all of a sudden she's getting stabbed and then the water is red. Like, this is incredible. This is like James Cameron's awesome, but like I think anyone could have thought of this personally.
See, that's something I haven't really like put together. How many people could have put this together? How many people could have thought of that scene?
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, chest burster versus the Rosebud reveal at the end of Citizen Kane. Huh, interesting.
You have a good line of dialogue at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we'll never know. And then it like pans and it burns up.
Yeah.
And like that in itself makes you think and like has a message behind it. But the chest burster scene, the unexpectedness, the innovation at the time, and just the way he just didn't tell the actors. So we're getting legitimate
reactions.
So I'm gonna go chest burster.
Yeah, so this is like revealing the sled and that it says Rosebud is great because it really kind of ties the movie together in a way that like makes you kind of think like, well, because if you're not thinking deeply, if you're thinking surface level, then you're going to see the sled and you're going to be like, so he just missed his sled? Like, I don't understand. But then you think about it and you realize that it really kind of all ties back to his childhood. It's about loss of innocence. It's about why he felt like he had to prove something. Like, it's about his mom. It's about, like, it's a lot of things. But, like, the scene itself is, like, it's really important to the film, but, like, is it a great scene? I mean, it's someone asking a question and then you panning to the reveal. Yeah. But not, like, you could have done that a bunch of different ways, I think. This is just, like, batshit fucking crazy and it's awesome. Yes. So I'm with you. Let's put a smile on that face.
That's also the why so serious scene too.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I guess he says it a lot in the movie.
Says what?
Why so serious? Because doesn't he also say it at the party?
But that's the first time he says it,
Yeah. Okay.
I believe.
Yeah. I think I just remember the party more. But regardless, so why so serious versus dancing on some stupid stairs?
Honestly, the dancing on the stairs took over.
Yeah.
So for
But
me,
I think that's dumb.
well, that's where I'm leaning because, like,
Yeah, I am too. Just because of the scene they picked, I think they should have picked. If they picked the party scene, this would be a no-brainer for me. But I don't know why they picked that scene. But there's also like a bunch of other scenes from The Dark Knight. But
yeah, honestly, The Dark Knight is one of the greatest films of all time. Definitely top 50 movies of all time.
I think like the bank robbery scene in the beginning is like.
I don't know if I had to make a list of 100 greatest scenes of all time if I would put a Dark Knight scene on there.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. If I did, it would be low.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't put this on there.
It took over there, man.
I don't care that much.
Thumbnails. Poltergeist. They're here.
Yeah. They're here versus Rocky climbs some stairs.
He doesn't climb. He runs upstairs.
Okay.
Rocky.
Whatever. I am going to pick Rocky over that scene. Because
That's creepy.
It's creepy. Spielberg may or may not have actually directed this movie.
Quotable and creepy. It does its job.
This movie would be better if Spielberg had directed it. Sure, whatever. Singing in the Rain versus realizing that this is Earth.
Singing in the Rain, that scene of him singing in the rain and the film Singing in the Rain takes over the entire movie where you don't even realize he only sings in the rain for like a minute 30.
Yeah, personally, I don't like this scene. And I think the reason I don't like it is because I love this movie and this is the only thing that anyone knows from this movie.
It overshadows the movie and the movie's so good.
Yeah.
I remember telling you the first time I watched it, I thought it was going to be that shit for 2 hours.
No.
It's not.
No.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I ain't picking that because of how iconic it is.
Singing in the Rain?
I think that is.
Yeah, I mean, compared to what it's up against.
Like, that's one of the greatest endings of all time, sure, but.
We'll always have Paris versus Here's Johnny. Now, this is a heavyweight matchup, in my opinion. Like, this is actually tough.
I'm going Here's Johnny. Quotable, parodied, camera work, and the acting. That one has all that, but it doesn't have the great camera work because you don't need it in that scene, obviously. But I think the more tools used to perfection of cinema leans that way. It's also the more parody one, and I hold weight with that. Like you said, with the who can come up with this, him sticking his face through the door instead of just open the door with his hand. Let me fuck with it first. I think that's the Stanley Kubrick thing.
Yeah, and so like this is basically just a different way of saying what you just said. This is just all dialogue.
Yes.
It's really, really great. It's incredible dialogue. It's some of the best dialogue maybe ever written in a movie. But does just really good dialogue and two really good actors knowing how to stare at each other a really good way make the scene better than what this is?
Yeah, a couple over the shoulder POVs.
I would have to say no. This scene is just bonkers. It's so good. Okay.
Jack again.
We're gonna need a bigger boat versus You Can't Handle the Truth.
Again, you get more tools of cinema with Jaws in that scene, so I'm gonna go Jaws.
I actually had to think about this for a second. I think these are really neck and neck to me. Like I'm leaning A Few Good Men just because of how earned like that is, like in the movie. But this like doesn't need to be earned because the point is that it is like a jump scare, and then a really really clever bit of dialogue immediately following it. I really don't know. I almost want to play rock paper scissors with myself somehow. Well, since I'm clearly indifferent, and then you have a clear answer, then we'll go draws. Chestburster versus Jamie Lee Curtis's mom getting stabbed in a shower.
This is hard too.
Yeah.
I felt like the other side had better scenes, maybe, but like maybe like Spielberg just like steamrolled everyone,
Yeah.
and it made it like less interesting.
Well, we didn't pick Poltergeists, which he didn't officially direct, but he did direct. But
I want to go Hitchcock.
me too. And so like this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
This is insane. But so is this. This is like out of our world, literally and like figuratively. So like it has that element to it. It's like super surprising. You didn't see it coming. You're right. The authentic reactions are awesome. But this, like the tone that this sets for this movie, like we know aliens are dangerous. This is just showing us a different level of dangerous that they are. I think this is just like more impactful and more important of a scene. And again, for the time that this movie came out, like really dark and like still feels very sinister when you watch it today. So I'm going Psycho as well. Damn it. Fuck.
Dude, stairs.
So many stairs. And I hate both of these.
Rocky.
Yeah, I am going Rocky just so I can get rid of this trash.
The worst movie on the list.
Here's Johnny versus Singing in the Rain.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, agreed. Bigger Boat versus Stabby Stabby Shower Shower.
Psycho.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I mean, I don't have anything extra to say about it other than everything I just said about it, and I think that still holds true. Here's Johnny versus I Walked Up Some Stairs.
He ran that walk.
Okay, whatever.
But here's Johnny.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank God.
I said non-biased, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I said non-biased.
Shower scene versus Here's Johnny.
They both take place in the bathroom.
That's true.
Both horror movies.
Yeah, it's also true. Yeah.
I'm leaning Psycho, dude.
And they're both showing how not okay this person is.
Like, you have a limited
yeah, and well, it's
palette.
Like, so, sorry. I just want to, like, real quick, because you might think of something to add to this. The one part of this scene that we also haven't talked about yet is that it is clearly the silhouette of a woman on the other side of that shower, which is like this whole other element of like throwing you off in the film. So, anyways, go ahead.
He had a more limited palette, you know?
Yeah.
He couldn't film in reverse, so he had to use more tricks. He had to think outside the box more to get that scene. Like, what's going to be blood? Chocolate syrup diluted, you know? Like,
yeah.
They had to play around more and more and then edit it so it didn't look cheesy. So Psycho for me is the winner for the right side.
Yeah, two really good choices.
I did not see them getting to the end on this side.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I don't know, like if I made the list myself, I don't know that they both would have been in the finals, but I don't know, maybe. It's very possible. God, this is hard. So, like, I don't disagree with you that, like, yeah, he did something great with way less. But at the same time, I feel like Kubrick did, like, beyond what was truly available.
Yeah.
And so... So I'm going to say this. I think that this is like my one gripe about this movie, in this scene specifically. I think there's like a few too many cuts in this scene, like back to her and back to him.
Psycho?
No, in The Shining.
Okay.
Like I think there's like 2 or 3 too many cuts, like back and forth to them. And to me, that kind of takes me out of it because I'm trying to focus. And maybe that's just an ADHD thing, and that's why it bothers me. And so But I cannot say that about this. I think that you literally could not have done this better. So I'm going to go with Psycho as well. And then Indy stealing the idol versus the shower scene in Psycho.
So much fight between our inner thoughts, discussing these phenomenal movie scenes that, like, truly think which one's better.
Yeah.
To end up with these two, just say, oh, it's Indy.
Yeah.
Like, he's one.
Is.
That's a great 2. I would pick that over E.T., and E.T. would be my 3. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. There's no question that this scene is absolutely phenomenal.
The best character reveal in cinema history.
Yeah, that's true.
And guess what? In every film, you have to reveal a character. So it has so many opponents.
Yeah. And it also just, like, sets the tone immediately for, like, this is what Indy is physically capable of. He's not superhuman, but, like, he's pretty fucking lucky. That's honestly kind of Indiana Jones's superpower, is he's just, like, really lucky. But yeah, I couldn't imagine picking any other movie over this that is on this bracket, at least. So,
You think I missed any? Rotten Tomatoes missed any?
I understand that this is pretty biased, but I do think it is an incredible movie scene. But I would have put either the T-Rex Jeep chase from Jurassic Park, or like the end of Jurassic Park when the T-Rex comes in and snags the raptor and the banner falls, and then he runs outside and he says, "Mr. Hammond, I've decided not to endorse your park." And he says, "So have I." And then they drive off and go get in a helicopter.
Yeah, that definitely could have beat They're Here. But let us know in the comment section if we missed anything. Score back up the like button, sure. What should have won? That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Score back up the like button, share the video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.